on day one of your period, sometimes, every woman's different and we all experience different symptoms. But generally, on day one, you're looking for a more restorative practice. Gita Iyengar has formulated a set menstruation sequence, which is important to practice through the duration of your cycle. So the 5 to 7 days that you bleed, however long that is, which can also vary. So usually day one, I like to keep it pretty relaxed. Gita Iyengar even suggests for the first 72 hours rest. I'm just going to show you Supta Baddha Konasana. This is something I always like to go into. It can help with cramping. It opens up the flow to the pelvis. You get lots of blood flow back in through the pelvis to help rejuvenate there. I'm just using a bolster, long ways. I'm going to sit a little forward and I'm going to use 2 belts, which just help support the rotation from the inner thigh to further open the groin. And you get a little more breadth working with 2 belts. So I'm going to bring my feet into Baddha Konasana. The slack of the belt goes back towards you. You want to bring it onto the bottom shin and the very top upper thigh. It's important, then you do the same on the other leg. And it's important that you maintain the same tautness on both sides. Sometimes the belts can be a little bit stubborn and they might slide up the shin. But as much as you can, keep them on the bottom shin. And then you can secure them up. I'm also working with some folded blankets that I'm going to wedge behind the back of my legs to further allow the support and softness in the legs. Remember, it is day one. Sometimes the energy is low in the beginning of menstruating. Once again, when I sit, I'm going to sit a little forward of the bolster to extend the upper buttock, and I'm gently going to lie back. Now, you might notice the belt sliding a little bit up the shin. Might have to just readjust that. And then you'll notice as you lie down, you'll need to further tighten those belts. So that's why you have the slack of the belt going up towards you. So you can just firm that up there. You want those belts right on that thigh crease, upper buttock extending away. And even though I'm supporting the back of the thighs, I'm not necessarily suggesting that you reduce the stretch. If you're more open in the legs and the hips and your knees can go lower to the floor, you can slide the blankets more to the knees. If there's cramping or you're really feeling fatigued, then I like to support closer up to the hips, because then my abdomen can fully soften. Got very long belts here. Your belts probably won't be as long as mine. Lengthen the back skull out of the neck. Got a nice support for the head. So my forehead is parallel to the ceiling. It's again my trusty eye pillow. Now, I enjoyed my long first labour literally securing my eye pillow to my eyes. It's amazing how you get quite reliant. And so I always have my eye pillow handy or something for the eyes. The first few moments of being in here, you're fully surrendering your body into the support. We're aiming in this situation to fully rest the body. So as you might notice, your inner knees releasing out and down. You've got the support of the blankets, which are like pillows for the thighs. It's interesting when you can soften the legs where that softness resonates in the inner groin. You're fully supported as the femur bone rotates in the hip. So if you're feeling any strain on the inner groin or the outer hips, you might bring more height behind the thighs. These could be just any type of household cushion or rolled towels even. Gently feel the contact of the feet, the heels, the mounds of the toes pressing. And as you press the feet, you notice the action come up through the legs, shins to the knees, inner thighs to the inner knees, and your outer upper thighs drawing back in to the outer hips. Your inner buttock spreading. You can use your hands if you need to just further spread if you notice any catching of the skin. And you want to feel the navel gently spreading to the sides of the waist. As you notice the bolster lifting you up through the back of the chest, helps you open that side chest region. And then your inner upper arms turning to the outer upper arms, palms facing the ceiling. Quieten the throat and quieten the skin of the face. When you work with the right support for you, you can really stay here a length of time. I've fallen asleep in this pose for 20 minutes, half an hour. So when you're really support your body, you have that staying power so that you derive even more the benefits of the position. Gently watching the inflow and the outflow of your breath. Gaze of the eyes deepening inward. Be mindful that the throat is soft and descending to the back of the neck. You want to keep the space inside the throat soft, where the thyroid gland is. We want to keep that functioning in a healthy and productive way. And as that bolster lifts the back spine, you may notice the space that comes in through the front chest to even further allow the softness of the breath flowing in and flowing out of the lungs. It's important to notice that at no point is there any tension in the abdomen. You want to really keep that feeling of spreading, and then the abdomen just gently softening to the back spine. Not where we're forcing it down. When you have a good extension of your back buttock, you'll notice the abdomen gently already descends. That broadens a little more at the back waist. And then when it's time to come up, you're going to bring your knees together. And we're going to remove the belts and roll off to the side. And I just want to show you one more setup. If you have cramping, sometimes I find for me the cramping really sets in at the end of day one and very much into day two. And so a more supported back bending setup can be really beneficial for cramping. So I'm going to get another blanket, because I'm going to put the bolster horizontal for the back chest, which means I need a little bit more height from the head. Same situation with the legs. Still have the blanket support, still work with the belt. And menstruation, I always like to work with 2 belts just to facilitate even more broadness and space in the pelvis, which is what we want, to allow our body to do what it needs, expel what it needs. And once again, sit a little forward, and that bolsters at the middle back chest. And then you can see there's a slight gap between the head support and the bolster, so that when I lie back, my shoulders can soften down in through the support. Now it's important that you feel the bolster is lifting the back chest, not making you dig into the lower back. So you might have to re-establish the upper buttock extending, so you still feel your belly spreading and softening down to the back spine. Just going to get another little fold of this blanket. We want the forehead parallel. You know, you might even notice even more now, the chest is spread and open. Not only is this position good for menstruation, you can practice when you're pregnant, you can practice through all the different symptoms that come in, perimenopause, through menopause. And it's one of the 3 golden poses for women that Gita Iyengar identifies. So it can be practiced whenever. It can be practiced immediately after eating. It can also be good for digestion. You can stay as long as you need. And then once again to come up. Come onto the elbows, just support yourself to come up. And releasing out. You might like to just briefly release your back. Even though these are fully supported, they do take you into that back bending realm. Although when we do supported back bends, rather than stimulating the adrenals, they soothe the adrenals. So that's the difference of working in a back bend position supported. I'm going to pop a blanket under my buttock and move this away, and just go forward Virasana to help release the back. If you're cramping, you could get a folded blanket, place it on the top thighs, and now we have a pillow for the belly. So it helps spread the belly and draw the belly into the back waist, which can help with cramping and help in that softness. Spread across the back of the shoulders as you lengthen your sternum. Gently descend your shins, feeling the crease of the thighs draw back, the crease of the outer hips draw back, sitting bones extend back. We're a little softer with the actions here. And as you stretch back your sitting bones, press the shoulder blades in to lengthen the sternum. Stay as long as you need. Forward bends are an important part of the menstruation sequence. They keep the mind quiet, they keep the nervous system soothed. So particularly if you suffer quite an anxious premenstrual period before your period starts, the nervous system can be quite charged. So this is your chance now to soothe and soften that agitation. They also have a cooling effect on the body. Where menstruation brings in heat, now this helps your body cool down. And then to come up, you walk your hands back,